Hey guys, Product of Your Environment, episode 6. I have a very different topic again to talk about today. One of my good friends who I currently play football with, and his inspirational story about living with a chronic disease. So, big welcome to, warm welcome to Ruben Warpnick. Yes, Ruben, how are we doing?
Hi Rico, you're right. Can you see me?
Yeah, all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Alright, I'm not too bad. Just trying to get through the lockdown and things like that. How you
Of
doing?
course, of course. Yeah, all good. Just waiting for normality, right?
Missing it, mate. I'm missing it. Missing football. Missing normality. Missing
What
life.
what you missing the most? Pinging balls up top to me.
That's what I do best, isn't it? Yeah, of course. I'm just missing normality. Missing doing what I love. Missing playing football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. All right, so I think obviously I told you I wanted to get on the show because this topic is something people generally don't know enough about, which we're going to speak later on about what you're trying to do and what awareness you're trying to spread, but not enough people know about chronic diseases and in this case Crohn's, right? So people that don't know, it's an inflammatory bowel disease. Um, Symptoms of this is diarrhea, which may come suddenly, you don't know when, severe stomach aches and cramps, blood in your poo, tiredness, fatigue, and weight loss. Um, I think that one thing people don't know is every every 650 people in the UK, one of those have Crohn's, which is a big stat, right? And the total of that is 115,000 in the UK with this condition, and not enough people know about it. Um, so Ruben, just on your experiences, when did you find out you had Crohn's? Was it like you felt something's not right? Was it you went to the doctors and it was just a random case you found out? How did it work for you?
Um. So basically, we're gonna take you back to the end of year nine.
Yeah,
So we're thinking I've gone on a Israel trip with my school, my year group,
yeah,
and eating what everyone else is, doing what everyone else is doing. However, I sort of felt a lack of energy. Something wasn't quite right. Obviously, I was running to the toilet quite a bit, um, and I just didn't have enough energy to get me through the day. So that was just sort of things I felt during the time. I just felt a bit weaker than everyone else, and I got back, and I was all happy to see everyone. I've been 2 weeks in Israel. I was happy to see my family. They all gave me the same worried look, and they basically, in other words, told me, "Ruben, you've lost a lot of weight," and I probably lost at least a stone in that 2 week trip. And from there, it got progressively worse. A lot more symptoms sort of started happening: running to the toilet, weight loss, a lot of fatigue, lack of energy, and it all got a bit too much. And in the end, having to go to the doctors just to see sort of what was going on. After various amount of blood tests, stool tests, went into hospital for a colonoscopy and endoscopy, which is basically when they put a camera inside, see what's going on. I got diagnosed with Crohn's in November 2018. So that's just sort of the basis behind, long story short, what happened, how I got sort of diagnosed, and when I knew something wasn't right, really.
just quickly on you said when you came back to your family and they noticed physical differences. Did you notice those yourself or not?
Yeah, so I didn't notice it when they were telling me. It's only after I got home and sort of took a look at myself in the mirror, and I was like, my God, so like I've lost a lot of weight,
Yeah,
and it's come very suddenly, um, and it was scary, man. It wasn't nice to see. It wasn't nice to see.
especially as it, you didn't know what was going on. This was something you didn't know about.
No,
Complete shock, right?
I had a lot of symptoms. I had a lack of energy all the time, a lot of fatigue. Found it hard to get through the day. A loss of focus and concentration because of the lack of energy I had. Running to the toilet, I wasn't absorbing any food. It was all a bit too much, and I was frustrated because for quite some time, I didn't have a diagnosis.
Yeah. I think one thing that's quite scary about this is diarrhea. If you have diarrhea, you could just think, oh, I've eaten a bad meal, or you're tired and fatigued. Oh, I worked too hard doing football training, whatever exercise I'm doing, or you know what I mean? It's or stomach ache or cramps. It's things that people may not think anything of, but
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, to elaborate on that, definitely. So when I first went to the doctors, they'd ask me stuff like, have you got, allergies to dairy and allergies to gluten, and it was all they, doctors like to look for that sort of the least, you know, problematic sort of thing. So they were asking me stuff about, they thought I had like an intolerance in the beginning, because a lot of symptoms are the same. However, um, it was frustrating because I didn't know what was going on for quite some time. And you could say, yes, it could have been intolerance, but I think I knew deep down it was a lot more than just an intolerance or just an allergy to something.
Did you feel once you got diagnosed, did you feel any kind of pressure, like, or fear of telling your friends and how if they would see you differently?
Not so much that. I was definitely scared within myself because when you're told you've got a condition, no matter what the condition is, it's a very scary experience because you don't know what to expect. You don't know that much about your condition. And I think friends wise, I feel like I've been very lucky in the mates that I've had. They've all my friends and family been so supportive.
Yeah,
So in that respect, I've been very lucky. But for me personally, especially in the beginning, it was a very scary sort of experience.
yeah. No, that's amazing, Ruse. I think you're a big inspiration to a lot of people. What would you say to people that are going through it, or like in that reaction of not knowing you've had something and you're being told you're diagnosed? What kind of advice would you give to someone?
I think the advice I'd give someone in a similar position or just been diagnosed or going through similar sort of symptoms, um, keep a positive mindset, definitely, and try and keep as physically and mentally strong as you possibly can because thinking positive and being positive is very important when dealing with the condition. Believing that you can get through it and you can deal with it is definitely the most important advice I'd give to someone. Definitely being positive, definitely staying motivated and being as happy as you possibly can be and taking the negative and turning it into a positive in the best way you possibly can.
100%. And talking on that, what negatives mentally and physically have you experienced that were challenging and how you've overcome them? Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. So physically, the lack of energy and fatigue I've experienced over these sort of since year 9, since year 10, so since we're talking 2018, the lack of energy and fatigue I've experienced has been, it's been a lot. Energy wise, physicality wise, I lost a lot of weight. So it was definitely harder to, especially when playing football, used to be a lot harder to sort of compete physicality wise with a lot of people because you're not as physically strong and you don't have enough energy, especially when coming to school and focusing and concentrating energy wise. It was very hard to get through the day. And, I'd come home and I'd collapse on my bed due to lack of energy and because I was so exhausted. So the physical aspect of Crohn's is a lot to take. The lack of energy is a lot on the fatigue. Um, I'd say, and the mental aspects. Um, I think it's you think to yourself, why have I been given this condition? Why should I put up with this? Why should I deal with this? And it takes a toll on you. Like it demotivates you. It brings you down in a negative way. But for the physicality aspect and physical and mental aspect, it's believing you can overcome what you've been given and sort of stepping over that barrier and turning that negative into a positive, staying positive, keeping a positive mindset, educating others, um, definitely being physically and mentally strong, as well as exercising, getting out. Yeah, I say a lot of those aspects of sort of how you overcome the mental aspect and physical aspects of Crohn's.
And in your case, with that strong belief and positive mindset, after accepting the hard times and just pushing through, talk to obviously I know, but talk to us about your latest information and the positives that have come out now.
So August 2018, I know it was 2018, August 2020, I was pronounced remission. And remissions are basically a state where my Crohn's, which is so the inflammation in my small intestine, was under control for the time being. And that is possibly the best news anyone with a chronic condition or with Crohn's could hear, because the main aim is to get into remission so it's under control. And I think that was due to sort of a bit of a change in diet and things I eat. That was due to determination, motivation, a positive attitude, and medication's another factor. But altogether, I think that's what sort of got me into remission, believing that I can overcome Crohn's and get into remission, and I proved it at the end of the day. I got into remission.
That's amazing, Ruth. So would you definitely say the mindset is one of the biggest part of it?
Yeah, the mindset is such a big part of it because having a condition like Crohn's can definitely have an effect on your mental health, and you sort of feel defeated in a way that you've got this condition and you feel like, why should I deal with this? Why should I put up with this? But changing your mentality into a positive one can definitely give you a better positive mindset and attitude, and believe you can overcome something, which is what I did. And definitely easier said than done, but that sort of mentality, changing it into a positive one, definitely is a part of my getting to remission.
I think so. Obviously, a massive thing right now is mental health, and not only the negatives of it. Mental health can still be the positives as well. So when you found out you went into remission, how did you feel about it?
Um, to, I mean, I cried, to be honest. It was crying out of happy tears that all the hard times that I struggled um, during when my Crohn's was so inflamed. Um, it was a bit of relief just to say that I've done this myself. I've done this, and now I'm going to educate others with Crohn's or without, how to overcome difficulties and challenges in life. Because I want everyone to feel that same sense of relief and happiness that I felt getting into remission and overcoming a challenge that was in my way.
That's I think there may be challenges you experience through your Crohn's journey that you can take into other real life situations and
Yeah.
use, which is a massive thing. So I'm gonna put Ruben's Instagram account right there, and his Facebook and Twitter. Did you say
Facebook, oh no, Facebook and Instagram. And
Facebook
let me
and
just elaborate a bit on that.
yeah,
Those two accounts, I basically opened up about my Crohn's journey last July, and basically told everyone my story and sort of explained what I'd been through. And the main sort of aim of these social media platforms is to educate others about Crohn's, as well as bringing sort of positivity to others, and sort of trying to inspire others to not be afraid or ashamed of anything really they experience in life, and to open up about it and to embrace it rather than hiding it and being upset about it.
yeah. So I think is that one of your big goals is to spread awareness and help other people understand about it, right?
Definitely. I mean, helping others is what I definitely strive for the most. I love helping others and making people feel better about themselves. And I'm sort of using my condition, turning my negative condition into a positive thing by spreading awareness. And my audience isn't just people with chronic conditions, it's anyone can relate, because we all have invisible battles, we all have difficulties in life. And if I can show people that you can overcome these things, I will do as much as I possibly can.
100%. One thing I'm very like passionate about is people relating to people that are going through the same thing, and even if it's not the same things they can relate to, because often you're told something or feel something and you think you're by yourself, you think you're the only person that's been through it, but even people that don't know you watching this will think, oh, he's been through it as well. He's got to the stage he wants to be at right now through positive mindset, belief, and just being positive. So I think it can definitely help people out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure people watching this, know me or don't know me, can hopefully um, either relate, or hopefully I can sort of inspire people to follow my platform, to look at my story and sort of turn a negative thing into a positive one.
Just last thing I want to talk about, is there um any kind of daily basis checkups, medication you have to take? What's the lifestyle like?
So lifestyle is obviously with corona and all, daily appointments aren't so frequent because you can't technically go into the hospital and things like that. But there's things like blood tests. I got just to check the medication I'm taking, which is azathioprine, which reduces inflammation, which are pills, and basically an injection called adalimumab, which I take once every 2 weeks, also reducing inflammation. Um, those are sort of the medication I have to take. The pills are daily, and the injections once every 2 weeks, and blood tests here and there. But the lifestyle is manageable. It's manageable. I'm managing, and I'm still living my life to the fullest and not letting it really affect me or get in my way.
Good stuff, Ruben. Listen, I appreciate you coming on. I think you've definitely helped people out. Your story is amazing. Definitely going to inspire people. So thank you very much for coming, Ruben.
Thank you for having me, Rico. Thank you, and I hope I inspired others. And yeah, I hope I bring positivity to people and prove to people they can turn a negative situation into a positive one. So thank you for having me on.
And hopefully next time I see you in person, we'll be back to normality, back to
Playing
football.
football,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
All right, Rubes. Thank you very much. Speak to you
Thank
soon.
you,
Stay safe.
Rico.
Bye.
Bye.